You see, we can see for miles and miles and miles. The globalists have done what they're doing to us. We're in the jaws of this crocodile. They've done this in hundreds of countries. There's over 195 nations, and they've done it in some countries 3 or 4 times in a row. Places like Argentina, places like Nigeria, places like France, places like communist China. And now we're going into it. We know what their model looks like. Disarm population with 80+% taxes of one form or another. France is the model. It's a global, standardized program, and they're following an exact blueprint to get our guns. Because the control freaks understand that if they can't disarm you, they can't jack up the crime rate, they can't ship in the narcotics into your neighborhood and then launder the money in their big mega banks, they can't have you begging for more of a police state and basically martial law on the streets if you're not living in fear. The Second Amendment is not only one of the few rights we've got left, with the First Amendment, 10th Amendment, you name it, under attack, the 4th and 5th gone. It is a beachhead against all of their tyranny. It is a time bomb, a bulwark, a dam set up against tyrants 230+ years ago by the founders of this nation, because our nation was born out of gun confiscation. The Crown couldn't offer security from pirates on the coast or Native Americans to the west. But the government said, you will turn in all your handguns and all of your rifles. You will turn in your muskets and your long rifles. You will turn them in. And they tried gun confiscation up and down the East Coast from Virginia to Maine. And people began fighting back everywhere, so they called in more soldiers. And they started hanging people and killing people. And the war started. That's the story of tyrants. And people say, why do you care about your guns so much? It's that a government that wants your guns is a government that wants to enslave you. And by the way, the government we have is running mass murder operations in not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, not 10. More than 14 countries have so-called U.S. Special Forces and troops there advising governments and rebels, depending on the case, engaging in unholy massacres. Libya, now it's over 60,000 dead. Men, women, children lined up, shot on video. We try to show it here on air. We try to show it on the TV show. YouTube will ban our channel. We're talking about NATO planes bombing villages with little girls missing their lower mandible with a big red tongue flapping around and blood spraying out and the howls of pain. You think Obama's going to give a press conference about that and have a little fake tear for you? Obama is the slickest, demonic New World Order liar I've ever seen. He makes Bill Clinton look sorry in comparison. Getting up there last Friday and then last night and acting like he's going to cry and pausing and touching the corner of his eye. This is the guy. Let me explain this to you. That his lawyers wrote the NDAA to use the army domestically and to secretly arrest the American people and to torture you and to kill you. And it just came out again, the CIA grabbing innocent people and raping them because they like to rape. People that get into the job, think about what you have to do to get into the CIA and then get into the black ops area and then get selected for the torture sites. Gee, who do you think they hire for that? Oh, we know. They hire fired federal jail guards. That's who they hire. People that have been caught raping people. Oh, I was looking. I actually found out some of the people that got kicked out of the Texas Youth Commission, they were raping kids and the rest of it. Did you know they went and got contractor jobs? I saw a blurb on that a few months ago. Oh, yeah. They're serving America right now with people's kids in dungeons right now. They enjoy their work. That's why they work so hard. So this is not the American government. This is a foreign banking government. And Obama would even criticize Democratic and Republican senators about how I want to take out the secret arrest and, kill provision. And they came out and they said, here's your White House letter with your lawyers saying you're demanding it. Oh, that's national security. You weren't supposed to release those letters. Then he says, don't worry, I won't sign it when it passes, so opposition would form. Don't worry about fighting it. Obama's not going to sign it. And then it passed, and he said, don't worry, I won't sign it. And I said, he will sign it. And he did sign it. And Media Matters and Salon and all these other globalist organs that pose as liberals who are really authoritarians, in many cases run by the White House, in the case of Media Matters on record, they literally make jokes and snicker. Oh, Alex is making jokes about the drones again. And then they make it a joke saying, I'm making it a joke. No, it's not funny. They make these simpering jokes about 8 countries being hit by drones, more than 14 nations with all sorts of carnage going on. I mean, it's now in the LA Times, in McClatchy, in the New York Times, that our government is backing al-Qaeda in a 22-month operation in Syria, attacking on all sides out of 3 countries, backed up with missiles they were given, anti-aircraft missiles they can now use against our aircraft. And they're going into houses and saying, we're going to kill your whole family if you don't drive this truck into that police station and blow it up. And the dads say goodbye to their family. They're tied up. They go get in the vehicle and they drive it and blow it up. I mean, folks, the videos, I won't even watch them anymore, of them chopping people's heads off and blowing up churches and blowing up mosques. And then I got to sit there, and I made a video about this titled Obama Caught Fake Crying, and it's got 500,000 views. And I noticed that I saw the Democrats saying, hey, let's circulate this video and downvote it. So our videos usually are 96%, 97% positive. It's only like 65% positive, as they're in there trying to vote it down, going, you scum Republican, you're going to get it. We're going to kill you with our guns. Go read the comments. And yeah, we're taking over. You won't stop us. They identify with the state. They get, once we disarm the working people of America, black, white, Hispanic, you name it, once we get the workers' guns, people that actually produce, we can really enslave you. See, we're going the route, this has happened in every other country. And the Obama supporters get this. They like the fact he's secret arresting and drone attacking and murdering. They think it's cute. I'm reading their comments. They say, thousands of tweets, kill the NRA president and all of their gun owners with guns. And they say, these are real YouTube sites, real Twitter sites. They say, we've written articles about it, linking to them. These are real sites with long histories. They're saying that the state is going to use their 1.6 billion bullets on us, that they're going to put us in re-education camps. Ha ha, you Republicans, you're going to get it now. I mean, these are sick people. And you've got Obama going and sucking off the deaths of these people and going, they said we wanted to privately meet with the families. And you could see him eyeing them in that speech and literally using NLP, because now I started looking into it. And he was doing all of this programming stuff. I talked to some people that went to the White House recently for a private deal, and they said Obama would grab their hand and like give these commands and sit there, and they said it was like NLP. Well, he was doing that in the speech last night. Neuro-linguistic programming that on people that are already in a trance, completely, see, if you're not under a television-induced trance that most people are now in, a near sleep-like state, this doesn't work on you. But when you're in it, it totally works. These people aren't even conscious. And the issue here is that he's there meeting now privately last night with the families, trying to gauge them and find out who they can use as poster pushers to take our guns. And you've seen all the announcements of the executive power, how they're going to use that to take our guns, all of it. So make no mistake, the great war on the Second Amendment and on anybody who wants to be self-sufficient and doesn't want to be collectivized has begun. I've got Daily Mail, Foreign Affairs, Washington Post, you've seen it, CNN, CBS, all saying preppers did this. Here's one of the headlines right here. New town in the doomsday preppers. Foreign Affairs, a division of the Washington Post, foreignpolicy.com. I mean, this is absolutely incredible that all of this is going on. So they're coming after our basic liberties, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening. And they're going to pose as the saviors, and those of us that won't give up our liberties, we're the bad guys. Hey, we see that they come and take the guns at Katrina and take food and water and put people in a giant Superdome, we're bad. We see that for a month they couldn't help people in Sandy, we want to get prepared, we're bad. You see, the government has lost the trust of the people, and they know that. So they're basically saying anyone that doesn't trust us and doesn't want to be robbed by the government is a terrorist, and I'm telling you, they're getting ready to stage more mass shootings and events. Stay with us. You notice the federal government has gotten laws passed so that you can't arm the teachers and others, or even the principals, to make sure that public schools are advertised as the place to go kill a bunch of people and then have the cops kill you. It's like an option. The media has hyped up school shootings the last 25 years so much that it becomes an option for crazy people. And then the government, who's running all these murderous operations worldwide, gutting the economy, putting sodium fluoride in the water, admitted in Harvard studies to be giving tens of thousands bone cancer a year, they can get up and cry and say they care about you. More like crying with glee that he thinks he can dominate the American people. These folks absolutely want to break this nation as the big prize. They've already gotten almost all the guns everywhere else except Switzerland, who, by the way, has the lowest crime rate in Europe. And they get to script themselves as the saviors who try to keep us safe by taking our guns, but we just won't let them. This woman had to go get registered, do background checks, get thumbprints in Connecticut to own guns. One of the most draconian gun law states in the United States. It's number 4. Approaching number 3. And notice that that's where it happens, in the gun grabber haven. That's where this goes on. And so now they can turn the schools into little mini prisons and frisk mommy and daddy when they come in and have people biometrically enter them. It's all about a culture with the airports to train the adults how to be prisoners and how to be suspects, people who aren't really criminals, inducing you into the prison culture. It's a conversion of our culture into a prison culture. They try to get you in the system under welfare, under criminal justice, under so many different ways to get you to lose your rights. And if they can't do that, they'll train you in the public schools, or they will train you via the TSA. And that's what this is all about, and we're going to break it down today. And play part of Obama's speech last night, that when you know who this guy really is, it's so disgusting. I mean, we've even got articles up at InfoWars.com where Democratic Party operatives are openly saying exploit the tragedy. Right? They know exactly what they're doing. They're making statements on MSNBC like, let's not let this Capitol go to waste. These are people that are authoritarians. These are not leftists. And that's why you see Rupert Murdoch, who claims he's a conservative, saying time to ban all automatics, which are already banned, folks. You can't go buy them. He means semi-auto, which is most guns. That's why you're seeing Michael Moore. That's why you're seeing all these people come out and say, now is the time to take the guns. So the great war on self-defense has begun. I wrote some notes this morning on preppers, on anybody who's not a collectivist. This is the war on the individual. I would like to point out when we come back from break, and I'm going to go over the full waterfront on this issue, that Israel has M16s and handguns in all of their public schools in lockers for each of the teachers. Because in the last few decades, they had a few cases of Palestinians getting in with firearms or knives and targeting them. It all ended when they armed the schools. But you notice that the Israel lobby, Chucky Schumer, Dianne Feinstein, Rahm Emanuel, Bloomberg, you notice that, and that is a big part of the Israel lobby, and I'm not against Israel particularly. I don't like any of these corrupt governments. The point is that the Israel lobby knows to arm their people in Israel, and this needs to be pointed out. In defense of the Second Amendment, you know, we need to bring all this stuff up, that it is an admitted dual citizenship crew of leftist, the leftist wing in this country, who are saying we should have our guns taken, but have U.S. taxpayers, and that's who pays for these programs, $3+ billion a year, to arm the Israeli school teachers and principals. And I say, fine, great. I'm all for them having guns. But don't then try to take my guns. I mean, we need to call the Israeli lobby, who's a big part of the gun grabbing. And I understand the U.S. is paying the bill in Israel to a great extent. And the left there wants to secure basically that paycheck by dominating our policy. But listen, to the Israeli leftists, you're not getting our guns. Do you understand that? You're not getting them. And people are like, how dare you say he's fake crying when any idiot could see that he was fake crying and doing these fake pauses. I mean, they're running drone attacks where they've said in federal court, we're happy to kill 200 innocents, collateral damage if it kills one person. They'll go to a wedding or a birthday party or a meeting or bomb a whole apartment building and kill everybody to kill one guy they say is a terrorist while they publicly run the real al-Qaeda in Libya, Syria, and other countries. I mean, it's a joke, ladies and gentlemen. They've given over 10,000 missiles to al-Qaeda that can shoot down our aircraft. Mainstream news. Oh, but he's so sad for the children in the victim disarmament state, in a victim disarmament center in Connecticut. And now they're going to push these poor little dead children, where all of us that have had children, it tears our guts out. They are totally and completely manipulating us. And folks, you're going to see the Republicans come out against the guns now. This gives them cover because they're bought and paid for by the same people. You're going to see the Democrats. I mean, they're here. They're saying ban them all. Ban everything. It's on. And remember Hollywood that puts out senseless mass violence. And Jamie Foxx saying, woo, I love this movie. I kill all the white people. Everybody's like, ah, and all the shoot 'em up games and all the carnage and all the death. And none of you have responsibility. No, Michael Moore and the Weinstein brothers and all these other people get to come out with their anti-gun statements while they've all got armed bodyguards protecting them, while they push a total culture of death on us, milking it for every drop they can get. And Obama going and meeting with the families, trying to get them on board to come out against the Second Amendment. And they're coming, and he says, I'll use executive power to do it. And then they will start arresting citizens saying we're terrorists and we're planning to turn our guns in. They want a war with the American people. And the globalists could care less how many cops get killed and how many military get killed in the gun confiscation. And I'm going to tell you, there's a good chance when they start taking the guns, the feds are going to blow up their own federal buildings to get a full-on civil war going. And Obama has already been billed as the new Lincoln. They are planning to stage a civil war. Only exposing it can stop it. We are in an emergency maximum red alert level. That's right. People want guns to protect themselves from the criminal government and your Prozac heads and other weirdos that are in DARPA mind control programs who obviously have assistance and are protected and under Air Force psych warfare chiefs' control. Kind of like McVeigh had Jolly and West in the MK Ultra hearings in Congress in the 70s, was his personal physician from the time he was arrested till execution. They think you're so stupid. They have famous mind control handlers, and McVeigh said he was under mind control over these guys. Now, I don't know if that's what this is, because the culture itself is mind control. Hollywood, the video games, the Prozac, all of it. But here's the news flash, folks. They're coming for our guns. And they're not just talking about banning the sale or manufacture. They say you're going to turn them in. And all of you that said, you know, when they come to get them, look out. A lot of you are going to go ahead and turn them in. And other people, they're going to Waco and burn down your house. These are authoritarians, and they're coming. Oh, look at all these good citizens turning in their guns. That's enough of it. I can't even look at it. Let's expand on this. This is the government wanting our guns while it's getting tanks and billions of bullets for war with us. Oh, gee, have I heard of this before? And remember, the globalists are all going to go to jail if they don't go to authoritarianism, because they have a 9% approval rating. People now know about what's going on. The vast majority of people are waking up. The globalists have committed all these crimes under national security. They need to really get control of the states and the people, or they're going to lose it all. So here's the deal. I have never intellectually, but also in my gut, been more on the edge of my seat, okay? They're coming. They're coming. They're coming. They're coming. They are going to pull false flags like you've never seen. They are going to use other events and maximize them. They are coming. They are going to jihadi al-Qaeda. They're going to have al-Qaeda shoot down aircraft with missiles they gave them. It won't matter. The news won't report on that when it happens. They are going to try to break your will. They are going to search your house without warrants. They are going to search you on the highways at checkpoints. The government organized crime syndicate is declaring war on what's left of America. We are entering a red alert situation. And why are they declaring war on the preppers? Anybody who's individualistic and prepared. Because they're collectivist. And the Soviets and the fascists, everywhere they've been, they shut off the economy and bankrupt everything to make you go under government control and to get everybody in line. They're following a blueprint. And it gets in their way that patriots have seen it coming and have gotten food, water, firearms, and friends, and that we're ready. We're the people that know what's going on. So we're designated the enemy by the foreign occupiers. I mean, it's such a feeling of concern, I can't even describe it to you. And I just pray that this country and this world repent for the abortions and all the bad things we've done. And I pray that people will open their eyes, but will also put that into action to stand up against evil, because it's coming in like a flood. And I pray that the Spirit of the Lord will lift up a standard against it. Please, God, there are so many innocents in this country, and I know we're evil, but the enemy has just gotten us with the television and high-tech systems of control. And I know that we're like dirty rags, but please, please give this country and this world a second chance. Whatever is about to happen, just please, please, please give us a chance, like Nineveh was given when your prophet Jonah was sent there, and give us a reprieve if we'll humble ourselves and repent. Amen. I mean, that's my simple prayer, ladies and gentlemen, but being this awake is exhausting. I mean, I'll just tell you right now, because, and it's frustrating to know how wicked these Democratic Party operatives are, how bad they are, how evil they are, how duplicitous, how murderous. Listen to the little girl in that video. She's going, the Arabic name for mother, the report was saying, she's saying it over and over again, and it's slurping and slothing out of the hole in her throat. Oh, did Obama cry about that? No, he didn't cry about that. Handing over a country to al-Qaeda. By the way, folks, I don't know if this was staged or not. It has a lot of the signs. The Batman thing had even more. And now, I mean, come on, DARPA mind control program, mainstream news, telling people in jail he was under mind control, on and on and on. But and even mainstream news has been reporting on that now. But in this case, the globalist will always get something in your face. And in The Dark Knight Rises, and we're going to put this up on screen. I'll plug the YouTube channel it's on. If you minimize that, and then I'm going to get a Don Salazar to do a report on this. The only thing you can read on the map from Cybertribe Network from a clip from the film is Sandy Hook. And they're talking about how they're going to bring it down there from The Dark Knight Rises. And again, they ran 6 months before 9/11, where the government hijacks a jet by remote control to blame it on al-Qaeda, using a terror drill as the cover to fly the jumbo jet in the World Trade Center so they can attack Afghanistan. Sandy Hook. Let's go ahead and play what they break down here. Here it is.
See him pointing there, right there by the walkie-talkies. Well, if you get a close zoom up on the shot, before he puts his hand on the actual map, you see it here. What does it say? Sandy Hook. It's the only thing that you could read out of the whole map on this particular scene. Don't you guys think that's a little strange? Look at that, Sandy Hook. This is the Dark Knight Rises Batman movie. And I think they've made a number of references.
Yeah, that could be a coincidence, but not the hundreds of TV shows and things where 9/11 is an attack that's coming for years before 9/11, or where the government hijacks a jet to blame it on al-Qaeda by remote control to fly it in the World Trade Center to blame Afghanistan. No, this is all preconditioning. And this is what the globalists are into. It's all a giant public occult ritual. They call it lesser magic. They need to tell you about what they're going to do over and over again before they actually do it. Did we just kill a kid? The 6 words that ended a drone pilot's career. If you say on the record, we killed a kid, then you get in trouble. And the military chimed back in and said, no, that's a dog. You'll change your report. And then when he didn't, well, you know what happened. Again, the only crime in America is recognizing when the police shoot a kid in the back or they taser somebody and they die, or when the government's being evil. There's no crying about that. You're taught when to cry when the government says, oh, the guns are bad, they did it, let's ban them. Oh, I'm crying. It's about love, Obama says. It's about love. When they lined up tens of thousands of blacks that live in Libya and killed them when Al-Qaeda out of Saudi Arabia ethnically cleansed them, you didn't hear one black leader say a word. And now people are like, yeah, we won. Obama won. We're taking your guns. We're going to kill you. And I'm getting these emails and these tweets and these Facebooks and these YouTubes. And it's just like a bunch of crazy people like it's their sports team. You're just mad your team lost. I'm like, no. Both teams were bad, but you're part of the chosen team. We're being taken over. Shut up. We're going to kill you. We are a decadent, slob-like nation on average. There are a lot of great people, but the good news is a hard-working, smart person, regardless of what race, color, or creed you are, when you stand up against an evil globalist blob, you're like 100 people for every one of us. So you better get aggressive. You better get focused because we're in trouble. Society is crumbling right in front of our eyes, and banning the guns is not going to fix that fact. In fact, guns are one of the few things in areas where the police are standing down. The honest police are saying, you better buy guns all over the country. And you better lock your doors and buy guns because they're cutting our force in half, and we're being told just to revenue generate.
I'm Sheriff David Clark, and I want to talk to you about something personal, your safety. It's no longer a spectator sport. I need you in the game. But are you ready? With officers laid off and furloughed, simply calling 911 and waiting is no longer your best option. You can beg for mercy from a violent criminal, hide under the bed, or you can fight back. But are you prepared? Consider taking a certified safety course in handling a firearm so you can defend yourself until we get there. You have a duty to protect yourself and your family. We're partners now. Can I count on you?
This safety message brought to you by the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office.
Can't get a cop to respond to your house in many cities to 30-plus crimes in Oakland, but you can sure see him out there radar gunning all day to make some money. Let's go ahead and go to Obama talking about love. And just image all the kids blown in half.
There's one thing we can be sure of, and that is the love that we have for our children, for our families, for each other. The warmth of a small child's embrace. That is true. The memories we have of them.
They hit pause.
The joy that...
Yeah, they do actually use the blood trails from the children, and people running with wounded children are actually use as blood trails to target the full family to kill them. Like Private Bruckheimer talked about how they would go into areas of Afghanistan and kill everyone in the village. And the Army clarified on Fox News and said, well, only certain villages. But yeah, they kill everyone, babies, everyone. And you know, that last breath, that warm embrace, I think that's probably what Mr. Satan is talking about here. I mean, these people are evil, folks, okay? So let's go back to him trying to manipulate the families and create a relationship with them, because he had a private meeting with them afterwards to try to get them to crusade against guns like Sarah Brady. So he's like trying to reach out to them, that last warm embrace, trying to make them break down and cry. And you can see it. He's a total demon psycho while he's doing this, just feeding off the pain. I've been at CPS hearings where they're taking innocent kids, and the parents cry, and the judge just demonically just shakes, going, oh, I'm sucking up so much pain right now. Hail Satan. I mean, it's total Linda Blair exorcist stuff, okay? Let's go back to the demon. Here it is. Oh,
the wonder we see through their eyes.
Through their eyes.
That fierce and boundless love we feel for them.
You wish you could have brought them all.
Love that takes us out of ourselves and binds us to something larger.
Yeah, at the abortion clinics, the forced abortion
that's
facilities
what
at Apple
matters.
factories.
We know we're always doing right when we're taking care of them.
With deadly vaccines and sodium fluoride and
When
mercury.
we're teaching them well.
3,000% increases in cancers in
When
children.
we're showing acts of kindness. We don't go wrong when we do that.
When TSA drags a kid away and grubs them as they cry for mommy, or a little cancer victim,
That's what we can be sure of.
we can be sure that you'll be able to keep persecuting
That's
children.
what you, the people of Newtown, have reminded us.
Oh,
That's how you've inspired us.
you've inspired. Oh,
You remind us what matters.
you're the martyrs now. You're going to be used to wave the bloody shirt to take the guns.
And that's what should drive us forward in everything we do.
All the drone attacks, all the
As long
murders,
as God sees fit to keep us on this earth.
all the little kids with their lower mandibles missing, crying for mommy with blood spraying everywhere.
Let the little children come to me, Jesus said.
Oh, so you can abort them.
Do not hinder them.
Do not hinder the
To
abortuaries.
such belongs the kingdom of heaven.
And make taxpayers pay to chop up babies inside the womb all day long.
Charlotte, Daniel,
He's going to read the names. What about the 2,000 aborted today? Why don't you read that, you
Josephine,
vampire demon?
Anna, Dylan,
How many Dylans and Annas got aborted today?
Madeline,
How many got killed by drones?
Catherine,
How many got killed by DU?
Chase,
How many how many kids died from heroin shipped in?
James,
All right, that's enough.
Grace.
He's going to use their names as weapons. Can we cue up the fake crying, please? We're going to cue up the fake crying and then show you Bill Clinton doing fake crying with Ron Brown. If you're a radio listener, I'm going to have an article put together with all this of Ron Brown, who they later came out, the Air Force coroners, had been shot in the head. Then they blew up the plane after Special Forces jumped out, Bain style, to helo, or was it high-low out? And that later came out. He was walking and was laughing and then saw the camera and started fake crying right on cue. And of course, audio isn't as powerful, but it's an old Limbaugh clip from his TV show. But first, here's Obama with these fake pauses, all of it. But it didn't go over too well, so they said, back off of that. Here we go.
We've endured too many of these tragedies in the past few years. And each time I learn the news, I react not as a president, but as anybody else would, as a parent. And that was especially true today.
Taxpayer-funded abortion, is that it?
I know there's not a parent in America who doesn't feel the same overwhelming grief that I do.
His only grief is
The
that
majority of those who died today were children. Beautiful little kids between the ages of 5 and 10 years old.
well, but you have grief that the vaccine didn't like kill them slowly, or what? Oh, fake tear. Oh my gosh, their lower mandibles
They had their
blown
entire
off.
lives ahead of them.
And I couldn't smart drone
Birthdays,
them.
graduations, weddings, kids of their own.
Taxes to pay me in the foreign banks. Chemotherapy. Then he cries out the other
Among
eye.
the fallen were also teachers, men and women who devoted their lives to helping our children.
They're in the victim
fulfill their
shooting
dreams.
center.
So our hearts are broken today.
Okay, that's enough. Yeah, our hearts are broken, so let me now demonize the Second Amendment the country was founded on. I mean, these are total opportunists. Remember, he said the NDAA was bad. Turned out he wrote it. Then he said, don't worry, I won't sign it, and did. It's all just duplicitous scum that these globalist tyrants who have a history of pure evil are going to pull on your heartstrings to get you to give up your guns so they can enslave you. You need guns because there are crazies out there. The crazies go find the areas they know have been federally made a gun-free zone to have their way with people. The answer to their 1984 tyranny is 1776. All right, Obama, totally fake crying. Totally sick. More Oprah Winfrey stuff. He did it on the campaign trail. It's just absolutely fake. Well, here's Clinton where he got caught even worse. Here's Limbaugh back in the mid-90s after Ron Brown got killed. Walking, he's smiling, start rolling it. Here it is.
Let's look at Clinton walking the walk from last Thursday at his memorial service for Ron Brown. Go ahead and roll that tape if we have it. This is the one where, look, he's laughing, telling a big joke, sees the camera. Oh, no, let's cry. Have you seen this?
It's ridiculous.
Is this not incredible? Have you all seen that before? How many of you had seen this before this program? This is last Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. Some of them haven't seen it. I bet many of you haven't either. Last Thursday, there's a memorial service for Ron Brown. Bill Clinton is leaving it, and he's laughing it up, telling big-time jokes with his Secret Service person, whoever is standing next to him, and spots a camera way over there, and just watch it in slow motion, and you'll see it. Well, here it is, once again, bright sunny day. Look at everybody smiling here. See the president. You'll see him in just a moment, laughing, telling a joke, spots the camera. Watch the face.
And then he even does it like there's a tear.
Watch this. Now, here comes a tear. We got a tear here. The other guy's still laughing.
That's enough.
Even know
and listen, we're all supposed to buy into this, and now cry and go, you know what? I'll turn my gun in. Cancer virus is the vaccines. Fluoride in the water? You mean the kids need mercury? You mean the White House science czar says you want to kill us? You mean you want to make women get abortions now? Oh, you're forced abortion funding in China? You care about the children. The New World Order cares about them. I love Kim Jong-il.